because of who you are and because of the level at which you normally cook. What is the etiquette when you're in the kitchen as well? Do people just defer to you and just sort of step back and keep out the way, or is there a choreography?
Well, I just take over, basically. That's it. I'll just take over. I just like, okay, you can stay out of the kitchen now, and I'll just run the show. So it's for them. But like, even if it's with friends or it's the same thing, because I like, as I said, I like the way that things happen in the kitchens and the way that I do them, because I just, as you would probably see, I'm quite OCD in terms of being clean, working organized, and functioning in a correct sort of visible order of how things should be. And it's the way that I teach my staff, is that everything follows a routine, because as soon as you learn from a routine in terms of the steps, the processes, not only do you get better, but you get quicker, you get faster, and in terms of the end product, it will all end up being made in the correct way, and hopefully visually, taste, everything will come out exactly the same. So my whole thing is always about working to routines, and also clock watching as well, like in terms of preparation of foods. It's something that I just bang on them about them all the time, is clock watch, check what you're doing every time. Work everything in the steps that you follow every time, every single recipe, and then if you're getting better or not. Because if you're always doing it differently and you're never watching the clock, then you're never going to progress.
We do see that organisation in you, and that timekeeping as well. That's obviously you do a live stream, and it all goes, it seems relatively relaxed though.
Listen, I am, it's, I love cooking at home, and even though it's still, I would say for some people, like some of my friends come through, we just can't keep up with you, because you're quite fast with the knife work and everything. But the whole emphasis on, on what I try and do is to give people, an insight into, simple steps that they can follow, but also some interesting facts, that they may be able to learn as well. Because the whole point, I think, of what I'm trying to do is that, given where we are and with all this sort of lockdown, there's no point really in giving people a super sort of difficult or tricky proper one-to-one class, because A, they haven't got the time, and B, they haven't got most of the ingredients. So just I think what everyone wants is good home style comfort food in a time of need, and when everything's up in there, that's all we want, as well as a good cup of tea. It's the same as we know with any form of training. If you've got 10 people and you show them all the same routine, full well that maybe 80% of them will do it their own way. And it's just, I'm afraid to say, it's human nature that everyone thinks that they can do it better their way, but it's something that I just instill in people, that it's got to follow suit from me all the way down, in terms of the way that things are run. And of course I'm absolutely open to other people's ideas and suggestions, because again it's something that I've learned over the course of being a head chef at 26 and not listening to anyone else, because I was the only one that knew the best, and my answers were the only ones, and none of you have an opinion, because I was always right. Which is obviously the completely wrong attitude to have, because everyone has a set of eyes, set of hands, and a brain, and the more opinions that you can have, the better it is for everyone, because then you get to the right answer. And again, it's also that kind of thinking as well, that always eventually you get the better of you as well. It's just not the attitude to have in the kitchen that there is only one answer and it's mine, and that's it. It's just doesn't help anyone. Doesn't help your staff progress or get better. It doesn't help the team spirit. But that was me. As we know, when you're 26 and you got the weight of the world on your shoulders and you want to prove everyone wrong, then that's how you are. Yeah. We all go through that. We all go through that phase.
Do you have a little travel kit that you carry with you? Because a lot of the equipment we're sitting there looking at and thinking,
it's funny, but I have. So with my knives, I have a small knife roll that I take with me. And that, you know, whenever I go anywhere, that comes with me. I don't like take all my knives because otherwise it's just.
But you take your bread baskets and your.
Well, I take with me anywhere I go. I take a small part of the mother with me.
We've all got a mother now.
And I make sourdough anywhere in the world. So you know, I don't take the baskets because I'll just use a glass bowl with a cloth. But anywhere that I go, someone has some kind of, you know, earthenware pot always, or I'll adapt to something else. But I will always, you know, take a bit of the mother when I, you know, and then maybe I'll take a couple of bags of flour just in case I can't get any for the first few days, and then away I go.